And a good afternoon to you. It's in the mid 40s here in Yuba City. We are on North Walton Avenue, just north of where you would see the intersection of Franklin Avenue. And we're here with three people who've been working very hard over a long period of time to try to get something to happen on a vacant lot on North Walton Avenue. On the left, we have Kurt Hilbers, who's the president of Hilbers Construction, which is located just up the street, actually, and almost across from where we're at. And the mayor of Yuba City, Dave Shaw, and Joe from Habitat for Humanity, whose name my mind is not bringing up. Joe, give me your last name.
Hale. Hale. Hale.
Oh, Joe Hale. Okay. And I ought to know that because I have been covering so many meetings that you've been dealing with. This has been a long time coming project, and the impact is what we want to talk about today. Let's start with the mayor. This has been an issue that has been perplexing the city for several years since Habitat presented the idea. What have been the problems that the city has had to navigate?
This project goes back, as we said earlier, to 2021 is actually the emphasis of where it started. And the challenges we've had is really what every city in California has been experiencing. It's really the funding mechanism. We were fortunate enough to partner with Habitat, and we were approved for a home key grant. We went through, I think, home key. It felt like one, but I think it was 2 and 3 that we went through. Did get money. We had to break the project down into 2 phases. But at the end of the day, with the amount of money that HCD and the state of California gave us, we were still $7 million roughly short. And this is where the whole story gets real interesting. And it's really been a team event across the board with everyone on board from the city, including all of the members of our city council, our executive team, our city manager, working with Joseph and his team at Habitat, and then working with Kurt and his excellent team over at Hilbers to figure out how we can get out of the box and think creative to overcome a $7 million deficit. Because the largest challenge the city had was how do we help that gap funding when we don't have that additional funding ourselves without taking vital services away from our residents. That's the needle we've been threading, and it was a real team effort for everybody to come on board and figure this out.
So, what is this project going to do in Yuba-Sutter, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, it's focused on, this first phase is focused on helping families. So one of the big elements of it is serving individuals. It might be families who are couch surfing, experiencing some level of homelessness. And, we at Habitat, we have a waiting list of about 1,000 people overall. And this first phase will, I think, really help with over 20% of those individuals and families, getting them into a secure and stable place. One of the things I always like to say is, the goal at the end of the day is Habitat's a hand up. So we want to see these individuals become contributing members to society and be able to be successful. But one of the things I always worry about is when they're not sure what their next day holds because they're still focused on today. It's hard to focus on, the next week, the next month, or the next year. So this will give them an opportunity to find stability in their lives, and the goal is to progress and be able to become successful and move forward in life, just along with the rest of the community.
So, how many people is this project going to serve at build out, and are you still doing it in 2 different phases?
Yes, the goal is, as I said, the first part will be the 79 units, and what we estimate is a family typically is about 3.2 people when you do the math and breakdown of a large group. So the first phase will really house probably around 250 people, and that'll be the parents, kids, and then the next phase is going to be another 139 units, which we're hoping to start hopefully concurrently if we can get funding soon enough. Will be veteran focused. 70 units will be for veterans, so that could be individuals or couples. But ultimately, once all 218 units are done, I think you'll probably have between 350 to 400 people fully living in the community who otherwise are couch surfing or don't really have a safe place to call home.
And these will be people primarily from Yuba City and Sutter County, or
Yes,
will it be from the entire area?
our focus is we don't like to move people very far if we can keep them where they're at. So the likelihood is probably almost everyone will be from the Yuba City area who will live in this unit. Maybe you might have a couple on the edges somewhere in Sutter County, but the vast majority of the city itself.
Very nice. And as far as the impact to the community, there is an economic impact to the community. Let's talk to Kurt Hilbers about what that means in terms of the construction side of this.
I think the short-term impact is a lot greater than what people think. We probably will have 40 to 50 subcontractors who each employ, it could be from 5 to 20 employees. So that impact, when you add it up, is probably over 300 families that this will be affecting during construction, if not more. And the income that they make here will be large part spent in our community, which trickles down, which is amazing. Very helpful.
The construction itself is going to be in the neighborhood of how many $1 million?
Right now, we're about $30 million on the first phase. And the second phase, probably be a little bit, probably about $30 million also. Does not have the site.
And how will this money end up trickling into the community, and where will we see some of those effects happen?
It will go through the employees of the subcontractors. So basically, all the money goes to pay materials and labor. And it's the labor side that really affects us because that's what we can pay our employees, and then they'll take it and pay their rent, pay their food, and be able to shop. Hopefully, they won't go down to Sacramento and get too many goods. Our goal is to keep them here.
Exactly. If I can piggyback off of that, it's what we used to call trickle down economics.
Right.
It's real simple. We're going to take a local contractor who's going to employ local subcontractors who employ members of our community, and it's there's going to be the initial for the materials and such as that, but this is the families that are buying gas and groceries and clothing and going to the movies and everything right here in our community. So what you're going to have is this first bit is about a $26 million from the grant, another $7, so a little over $32 million that's going to be influxed into our economy that by the time this is said and done will work its way through many, if not most of the businesses in Yuba City.
And this particular project has some walkability to it. We're looking across the street at some businesses that didn't used to be there 10 years ago. It's just south of Sam's Club within a fairly reasonable walking distance. I believe this is on a bus route for Yuba-Sutter Transit,
And
so
Winco's
people
right
can
over
get
here.
over to different places. And what are you saying there, Joe?
I'm saying Winco's right over here as well. It's right 2 blocks over is Winco. Yeah.
And I think there's one main Walton Avenue stops.
So if I could add, in relation to the economic impact, the project will also employ 10 people permanently who will help operations of overseeing the site. Caseworkers, individuals will be permanently here, a site manager. And it will also we have about 28 contractors we work with in maintaining properties, from landscaping to the pools to all of those elements. So there's going to be a permanent fixture as well for that's going to invest probably $1.5 million to $2 million annually back into the community.
And not only that, so that Habitat doesn't carry that burden themselves. We partnered with the grant application, and we said we didn't have the additional, to fund the gap. Yeah. But on an annual go forward basis, we're taking, I believe it was 150,000, 125 or 150, 155 from PHO, which is low mod housing money that we have that can only be spent on projects like this to help those that need housing. And so that's going to be an annual commitment that's already been approved, that once this is open, this goes into effect for the operational cost. So the city truly is a partner in this.
Very nice. The overall benefit to the community has several different levels to it. We've talked about the economic level and what have you, but on an ongoing basis, it helps people get housing that they might not otherwise have been able to get. That's the basic part of it, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah, this just makes it more affordable. California, I think the biggest struggle in California that we're facing, in addition to homelessness, is housing prices, which is an impact of it. And so one of the things is this is going to provide more affordable rents for individuals. They will pay something. So as I said, it's a hand up, not a handout, but it's going to be at a rate to where they can be successful and have stability.
Right. I think the better term to use, because California is really as a whole loosey-goosey with affordable housing. Anybody that lives in California, housing's not affordable, period.
Right.
It's tough. This is really what we would call, to your point, subsidized housing.
Yeah.
And, it's going to be, the project's going to be top notch, because you guys I've seen it. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful project. So you're going to have a great finished product, but you're going to have rent that will be subsidized through all these programs to get people off the streets, off the couches, and get them into something that, quite honestly, the residents themselves, but Habitat, Hilbers, and the city can all be proud of.
Very nice. So the groundbreaking that happened this afternoon, as we're watching or listening to you guys toss some dirt here, a bit of merriment here at the beginning of Merriment.
Do it again. 1, 2, 3, go! Yeah.
So what's the timeline? You've broken ground in a ceremonial sense. When do the pieces of equipment that we see behind you begin actually moving things around? Is that going to have to wait till after winter is done?
That depends on Kurt. If he'll give me the keys, I'll move some dirt in a minute. No, when are you guys planning on starting, Kurt?
So this last week, we got all the papers signed at the bank. The city and the contractor and Habitat, contractor being Incorporated, we are ready to go. So we will be under construction next week, moving dirt.
All right. What are the first things you have to do?
Move that pile out of the way.
Jeez.
We will be grading, building the building pad, and moving forward with the site work, and then immediately moving on with the foundation and going vertical. So hopefully by late spring, you'll see some vertical action going up.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Yep.
Are there anything that we haven't really talked about that you think any of you is important for the public to know?
Just that, this is, a lot of times people I know get worried about, low income housing, sometimes the effects it'll have on communities. I think sometimes if you work on it in a sense of doing it as a hand up, helping them fulfill their lives, provide casework, give people jobs, give people security, you see a great community form, and not, I think something some people sometimes worry about. So, I just don't want low income housing to often be synonymous with terrible properties. This is going to really look like a college campus when it's done, as you can see on that picture over there. And a lot of these people will have casework, will have great opportunities to hopefully excel in life and do great things. So, and that's our goal.
Great.
And this particular project has made Habitat one of the biggest or the biggest habitat in the United States. Is that what I understood?
So in terms of assets, I think we have one of the largest asset strengths in the United States. Our Restart facility is the largest in California, and we have, the number of homes we build is on par with the top 50 habitats in the world.
What does that mean for this area and your ability to serve more people?
I think it means, I think a lot of communities have struggle meeting the need. Our goal is to be able to serve this community and the others we work in, and hopefully be a solution. I always say if a charity's best thing that it can do is work itself out of business. So if we can do so much that we're not needed, that would be the most wonderful moment we could have. That'd be the legacy of this organization.
Marvelous. Gentlemen, appreciate your patience here and sticking around. And we are trying to do 6 things at once here. I'm Ted Langdell, Yuba-Sutter.live, and we're happy to be able to come over and help you let the public know what's going on with Habitat for Humanity and this particular project, which is the biggest project that Habitat's taken on to date.
Yes.
Great. All right, so we will leave you to your devices, and we'll get back and get ready for an upcoming meeting.
There you go. Thank you, Ted.
This week on Yuba-Sutter.live.
Lots of live streams, beginning with Tuesday Government Watch, presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage at plumaslakeselfstorage.com. At 3 p.m., the Sutter County Supervisors regular meeting. At 6 p.m., the Yuba City Unified School District Trustees special meeting. And at 6:30, the Marysville Unified School Trustees regular meeting. On Saturday, December 13th, we'll be at the 9 a.m. Wreaths Across America, live from Sutter Cemetery. At 2 p.m., we'll check in with the Yuba City Christmas Stroll to find out what's happening. And at 5 o'clock, we'll bring you the Olivehurst Christmas Parade, live from Olivehurst Avenue, presented by Duke's Diner on 7th Avenue in Olivehurst, and by Comfort Keepers of Yuba-Sutter and Nevada counties. Sunday, December 14th at 6 p.m., Wreaths Across America replay, and at 7 p.m., the Olivehurst Christmas Parade replay. Tuesday, Government Watch, and then Christmas in Yuba-Sutter.
That's happening this week, right here on Yuba-Sutter.live.
Yuba-Sutter.live. It's the truth that comes through.
Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Hi, I'm Neil Goforth of Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties. Caring for elders or even yourself has challenges. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties can help you address today's issues and plan for tomorrow with in-home and specialized care for you or your family members. Call us at 530-749-8800. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties.
In Yuba County, there's a legendary diner.
Oh, it looks delicious. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Where the parking lot tells a story. The story is simple as biscuits and gravy.
The food is good. The prices are wonderful. My dad has so many friends here that come here, and it's my dad and mom have known Mary Jane and her dad before Duke.
Duke's Diner on 7th Avenue, home of legendary chili, holiday pies, and generations of local residents preparing tasty, hearty food for generations of local people. Join Mary Jane and her genial associates as they serve meals you'll come back for. Duke's Diner on 7th Avenue, Olivehurst.
Yuba-Sutter.live. It's the truth that comes through.